Welcome back to Sunrise at Sea, and thank you for staying tuned to us right here on CTV. And the conversation continues on our wellness segment. My name is Apollo Sarah, and I am back at Sleek and Slender Wellness Center. I am joined by Lorraine Bainey, and she's here with me. The last time we were here, the last time I was talking to you, we were talking about stress management. And one thing that you said in our last conversation was that how we react to the stresses in our lives is what determines,
how you will manage
it. So today we are going to be talking about attitude adjustment, how to move from the wrong attitude and into the right attitude, and have the right attitude in the right place and at the right time. So how are you, Bennett? Good to see you again.
Thanks, Sarah, for coming.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you really like Sleek and Slender.
I love it here. I mean, the fresh air, the trees, it is so green, so peaceful.
Yes, I know. So today's topic is very interesting. Because people really don't think about attitude, for sure.
True.
People just say, this is who I am. This is how I was born. Take it or leave it.
That phrase of, take me as I am.
Exactly. But you can't take someone as they are and you can't live together.
Exactly.
So attitude really, I don't want to use a scientific explanation of what attitude is. All I can say is this. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You can't go anywhere until you change it.
True.
You can't live with people until you change your attitude. And you cannot be an island. I'm going to give an example, and this is not to say that I have anything against these people that I'm going to give an example of. But have you ever been to an office and you go to the reception and you ask the receptionist, oh, I'm here to see Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. And they just give you a response like, you even wonder what happened to this lady in the morning.
Exactly. It's too early to be
acting for you to be so bitter. Was it, what's up?
Exactly.
And I mean, even like at restaurants, the waitresses and the waiters, they just come, take your order, don't care, So you ask, okay, is there a training happening in this place? But it's the person's attitude, you know. Someone is so bitter. And attitude coincides so much with stress management, because you find these people who have a negative attitude, a bitter attitude, probably are stressed. And probably they're not even stressed. They say that that's just who I am. My circumstances have made me who I am, know. Things didn't go the way I planned, or my spouse left me, my kid has failed in school. So you start having such a bad negative attitude towards life, and you start treating life like life is just a bad thing, but there's nowhere you can go until you change that attitude. You can't. It's not a good way to live. It starts bringing up a lot of stress. It brings up ulcers. It makes you just no one wants to be around you. Everyone is there whispering, by the way, did you see so and so?
That person is difficult.
We can't hang out with them, and then you now start being more bitter. And it becomes a cycle that never ends. So attitude adjustment is one thing that we really pay close attention to at Sleek and Slender. Because we try and tell people that, life can be beautiful if you want it to be beautiful. If you see it from the eyes of a person who has a right attitude. That's why we say adjusting from the wrong one to the right one. You don't have to be a positive person that you're there cheering all the time, or you're jittery, or you're smiling with everyone. I mean, but you can have a right attitude, And I also like to say that, yes, we did not get an instruction manual for this life. We were just born, and then whatever came. All the experiences that we went through life from childhood, all the friends you had and maybe fell off with, all the funny crushes that you had, and then, maybe even falling off with your parents, all these things make you build up a wall that now the attitude now starts creeping in without you even knowing. That's why people don't even think about attitude. They're just like, that's who I am. This is what happened to me. This is who I am, But as much as life didn't come with an instruction manual, it came with trees. It came with the sun.
It did.
It came with friends. It came with you being able to survive,
I like that you say it's a deliberate, you have to be deliberate, very intentional about it. So do you have any tips that you would like to share with the viewer on how they can keep a positive attitude where they can, just keep on being hopeful regardless of the circumstances?
I mean, the first thing is to forgive yourself, for holding on to anger. Just forgive yourself and let it go. It happened. Circumstances have brought you to where you are. But that's everyone. There's kids who are born in the streets, yet for you, you're at home and you're still bitter, you know. As much as, yes, you went through some circumstances, but everyone does go through circumstances. So forgive yourself for holding on to anger.
Yes.
Forgive the person who angered you. Look forward to being happy. I mean, and it's not like you have to be happy all the time. You can be sad, you can be angry, you can be, but don't hold on to it.
Yes.
Yeah, just, it's easy to say move on, but
to do it practically,
it's very difficult. That's why I said it takes experience for you to adjust your attitude. I mean, yes, life is tough. Life is tough, but it's also beautiful.
True.
Yeah. So it's just you changing your glasses, changing your lenses to see, okay, let me start looking at life this way.
All right.
Yeah.
And what about people who find themselves in toxic situations? They want to be positive, they want to change, but maybe the environment around them is not working. Would you advise people to just leave, or still adjust their attitude and say, you know what, I'm not going to let you stress me out?
Sarah, this is the thing. When you're in a toxic situation, it's toxic. You can't add sugar and change the
taste of salt.
Exactly. You really cannot. I'm a big advocate. It might not be right, you know, but I'm a very big advocate of you moving on. If it's toxic, if it's emotionally abusive, physically, mentally abusive, someone can drive you to kill yourself.
That's true.
But you want to remain in that toxic situation just because you want to save face? No.
What would be your tips on how people can find the silver lining in every awful situation? I mean, with the COVID-19 pandemic, it came with a lot that we were not prepared for.
I know.
You know, economically, financially, family-wise, like so much happened, and so much kept on happening as if the pandemic was not enough. There was war, there was disease, there was famine, people lost their jobs. So how do people
see the silver lining
in such situations? And I know the economy has been open now and people are now starting to slowly rebuild themselves, but then there are also a number of people who are failing to rebuild themselves. So how should they, you know, keep a good attitude even when things around them are literally on fire and collapsing?
It's literally changing your vocabulary. So you see, people say, oh, I have to do this, I have to go to work. That's already a wrong attitude there.
Having to say you have to do something.
I have to. Why don't
you feel like it's an obligation?
Why don't you change it and say, I get to do this. I get to go to work. In the pandemic, I get to spend time with my kids. I get to read more. I get to cook for my family because maybe before pandemic you were busy.
Yes.
You get to do it. You know, just change it. Change your vocabulary. Change what you tell yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell yourself negative stuff.
That is, I love that you're just using the power of words to just include gratitude as opposed to just seeing problems.
I mean, problems are there. There's nothing you can do about it. Currently, what is happening in Ukraine, do you imagine if there's anyone in Ukraine who is thinking of a silver lining? Probably not. But I also don't know what I would tell myself in such a situation. But for us who are here, who are not having such extreme situations, you can adjust your attitude by what you tell yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Saying, I get to be in a place that is secure and not at war.
Exactly.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Like when you know, people find it hard to exercise. Like, man, I have to work out, and then I have to work out every day so that I can have a nice body, so that I can do this. But you can tell yourself, I get to work out so that I have a nice body, so that I can be well and I can live long. You know?
Wow.
Just change what you tell yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. You know?
So what are the lifestyles we can incorporate in our lives to help us have a better attitude? What would you advise?
Of course, on top of the what you tell yourself, I mean, even the environment you put yourself in. Don't put yourself in an environment that will trigger your bitterness, you know. Don't watch a movie that will trigger your sadness. Don't speak to people that will trigger you to, you know, be bitter. Put yourself in an environment that, you know, even if you're alone in that environment, be alone. You know, people confuse solitude and loneliness.
Yes.
But solitude is something that you can actually now take a step back and be like, I can actually smell the coffee. I can actually breathe, you know. I can even small things you see a butterfly flying, be happy about it, you know.
Yes. Any last words, Lorraine?
Sarah, I wish people would come to Sleek and Slender and just know that life is really meant for the living, you know. You can adjust your attitude for your sake and for the sake of people around you, and start seeing life as a beautiful thing. Yes. Yeah, we welcome everyone. Yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you so much, Lorraine. It was a pleasure talking to you. And like you heard her say, please take time to live, because living is for the living. So come to Sleek and Slender Wellness Center and they will help you cope up with all your stress, help you adjust your attitude, and just learn to take a moment to be grateful and appreciate what you have. And many times we think that, oh, what I have is little. No, but it is a lot. It is a handful. You have a lot to be thankful for. So that is all I had for you on this segment of wellness. And please remember, take note that Sleek and Slender Wellness Center is on Plot 1, Katonga Road, Nakasero. So please come here and consult. If you're just curious to know about their services, or you just want, to consult about anything, just come right here to Sleek and Slender. Well, that's all I had for you, but keep watching Sunrise at Sea.